Okay, it is time for my Halo Season 2 review. We're only going to be talking about the first two episodes because that's all that they've released on Paramount Plus, but without further ado, let's go ahead and talk about it. Now, we've been hearing some great things leading up to Season 2. Everyone was saying that the writers are better, the action's going to be better, everything's going to be better, and to be honest, after watching the first couple of episodes, it feels kind of like the same from Season 1, which I really didn't like Season 1, and a lot of other Halo fans didn't either, and unfortunately I can't say Season 2 is much better. There was a pretty cool action sequence at the beginning of Episode 1, and that was honestly the best part of the first two episodes. Everything after that was like that classic sci-fi soap opera style show that we saw in the first season, which a lot of people didn't like. Master Chief is barely wearing the helmet, there's barely any action, the story isn't that interesting, there's a little bit of mystery, but that's about it. And I totally understand why Pablo Schreiber doesn't want to wear the helmet. Like, he wants to show off his acting chops and actually be in the show and not just be a voice, essentially. But just picture the Mandalorian. Like, imagine if he had his helmet off for the majority of the show. Like, it loses a bit of the magic. And it especially does in a Halo show because all the Halo games, Buddy's wearing his helmet. So if you have a show where he has the helmet off for 99.9% of the show, it's completely different from the source material and people aren't really used to it and they don't really like it. We also spent a lot of time with characters that a lot of people don't really care about, like Quan and Soren and some other characters, which, nobody cares about those people. They just want to see Chief doing cool stuff. Just make a really interesting story that pulls from the games or the books and just have Chief be at the center of it. I don't care about Quan. If I never saw Quan again, I wouldn't care at all. I also don't really care about Soren and his whole side story and his family on that planet. Like, I don't know, just they spent way too much time with those characters and not enough with Chief doing Master Chief things. Overall, I was a little bit disappointed with the first two episodes. I think the quality is up, but not by a lot. Like, it is barely up, in my opinion. It could improve a lot over the next few episodes, I don't know, but based off the first two, I'm gonna give Season 2 of Halo, Episode 1 and 2, a 6 out of 10. It's just slightly above average. I'm really hoping it ramps up, and it can hit like an 8 out of 10 overall by the end of this thing. The show actually has some decent ratings right now. The critic score is 92 and the audience score is 84, which is way higher than it was for Season 1. Now, this is obviously very early on. These numbers can fluctuate a ton, and I assume they'll probably go down. Like, I think the critic score will probably go down to like an 85, and audience score probably down to like a 70, 75. But I don't know why they're doing this whole soap opera thing. Like, it just feels like a generic sci-fi show with a Halo skin. Like, they're not leaning into the Halo lore. They're just using the Halo name and making it their own thing, which I know everyone was saying about Season 1, and it's just so true, and that's what makes it so frustrating. Like, why does this guy barely ever have the helmet on? Like, why are we not following any kind of story that's been told before? Like, I know they obviously want to change it, make it their own thing, but they're going a completely different direction. And there's not enough action for a show that's based off of an action video game. Like, you would think there'd be action every single episode for a pretty good amount of time, but we just don't get that. They should just follow what The Mandalorian does. Just have the main character, Master Chief, with his helmet on, doing things that service the story in an exciting way, just like the video games. Now, like I said, my opinion could definitely change because the next episodes could be the best thing in the world for all I know, but based off of 1 and 2, I'm a little bit disappointed. Let me know what you guys thought about Episode 1 and 2 of Halo Season 2. Do you think it's an improvement from Season 1? Let me know.